What is their demand? What do they have to say?
Praveen was not only a promising upcoming leader of the Bharatiya Janata Yuva Morcha in Dakshina Kannada, he was also a new father to a young 9-month-old baby. We have lost him today, one of our brothers in arms. With deep anguish, pain, I offer condolences to his family and also assure that every single Yuva Morcha Karyakarta will stand by his family in this hour of grief. Today we had a virtual meeting with all the office bearers of the Yuva Morcha in the state of Karnataka. We all have collectively resolved that the day after tomorrow, we will all be together going and visiting Praveen and his family. Starting from now, we will be making every effort to collect as much donations and funds as is possible to support his family. That way we are going to channelize our anguish, pain and this deep sense of personal loss so that we can support his family.
What do you put a finger on triggered this, or what has happened? Is this political? Is this rabid radicals? Is this support to Kanhaiya that has triggered this?
This is rabid radicalism. The specifics of this will be clear only after the investigation by the authorities, but the discussions that I had with some of the higher officials from the police department, they say that the prima facie reasons are growing radicalism in that part of the country, and this is also a targeted killing in order to terrorize a section of the Hindu society, especially the organizations and the workers of this organization.
But how are these radicals getting so emboldened?
This is, I mean, this is not new, it is not today. This is going on in this country from almost a few centuries. The society needs to wake up to the realities of this growing fundamentalism in a section of society. Ask questions as to why, how, who perpetrates this ideology, what motivates young men in their 20s to butcher the head of a non-suspecting innocent tailor going about doing his own business, or a young boy, young child coming back from college, or a young father of a 9-month-old baby who had nothing to do with any personal grievance or ideology, with any personal grievance. What is it that is triggering them to behave this way? These are fundamental questions. If we treat this merely as a law and order problem, or diagnose this even more wrongly as a purely political problem between the BJP and Congress, I think we will be missing the trees for the woods.
So what is triggering the radicalism? A lot of the blame is put on the Bharatiya Janata Party, the RSS, Hindutva forces. These are the ones who are out to get us, and that's why we have to react. Abhi nahi kiya to phir ye kabhi nahi sudhrenge. Hinduओं को सबक सिखाना पड़ेगा. This is the kind of narrative that's being pushed.
So if you will have to answer as to who is the reason for radicalization in Syria, what is the reason for radicalization in some other countries, what is the reason for radicalization in certain countries in Africa, what is the reason of radicalization in certain pockets of the United States and all over the world, in Europe, in Scandinavian countries. Is RSS, BJP also to be blamed there? So the society is finally asking these questions. There is a lot of debate that is being happening, and until we go to the root of that problem, we will not be able to answer these comprehensively as a society. Having said that, Anand, it is also a matter of great misfortune that there is a certain section of political class in India, like the Congress party in Karnataka, which went ahead and freed more than 1,500 charge-sheeted criminals belonging to these radical organizations like PFI, SDPI, KFI. So the cycle of murders that you're witnessing in Karnataka today can be directly attributed to this act of freeing these criminals 5 years ago by the Congress government to build its vote bank. For how long will we allow this to go? How many more young men, how many more young women, how many more innocent Kanhaiya Lal should we lose for this vote bank politics? This is a question that the Hindu society in general and the Indian society must be asking today.
My final question, Tejasvi Surya, is the angst that was on display from the cadre. Nalin Katil was in for a rough time there, and the cadre have also expressed their displeasure with the leadership, saying, you have left us, hung us out to dry there. You have left us to fend for ourselves.
Anand, I want to make it very clear. You must understand the psyche of our Karyakartas. Unlike the Congress party where the cadre is treated as a paid worker, the culture in our party is different. Our Karyakarta is a part of our parivar. He is a member of our family. So the loss is deeply personal. Therefore, and naturally, the anguish and pain is that much more intense. So it is natural that young Karyakartas have expressed the anguish, but it is in no way, let me underline it, it is in no way questioning the integrity or intent or commitment to ideology of our leadership. It is expression of pain. It is an emotional outburst to vent out their ire, to bring out their akrosh out. Which is why today in our meeting when we sat together, these very young Karyakartas who were so upset, so deeply pained, they were the ones who suggested that we will all together go collect as much donations as is possible and we will go and hand over this money in support to Praveen's family. That is the culture of our party. Please don't misread it for party politics. Hindutva for our party's core Karyakartas is not an election ideology. It is not an election agenda. It is very life. It is our very soul.
Well, the leaders have to stand up for the cadre. Somewhere the cadre believe that the leaders are ignoring them or not backing them up on the fight on ground, because it's the cadre which is waging the fight on ground against forces which you have just termed and agreed that
Not
they are
at all.
rabid radicals.
Didn't our state president Nalinji go today and be with the family? Am I not going day after tomorrow along with them to go and support the whole family? Didn't the moment last time in Shimoga, the moment Harsha's murder was reported, didn't our leader Amit Shah ji immediately order for a NIA investigation? Did he not order framing of charges under UAPA? Isn't that the only reason why they are still under behind bars today? If earlier in Karnataka we had a government which would free criminals who were charge sheeted because they belong to organizations which helped them build their vote bank. Today, for the first time, Karnataka has, thanks to the BJP, a government which charge sheets these offenders, orders quickly investigation by agencies like the NIA, frames charges under stringent legislations like the UAPA, arrests these people, is building dossiers with credible evidence to ban these organizations. So, there is no way that our Karyakartas or anyone is questioning our integrity and intent. Thank you, Anand.
Right. Thank you, Tejasvi Surya. And I hope by the time you go to meet their family, there is they get to the bottom of who did this and why, and the perpetrators are nabbed. I think you go. That's what I can only hope and pray. And as I offer condolences. Thank you, Tejasvi Surya.